Every major prophetic event in the Bible involves Israel. The tribulation begins with a covenant made with Israel. The abomination of desolation happens in Israel's temple. The Battle of Armageddon is fought on Israeli soil. The second coming, Christ's feet, touched the Mount of Olives in Israel. The Millennium is governed from Jerusalem, in Israel. You cannot understand end times prophecy without understanding Israel. But here is what most people miss. The Bible does not speak of Israel as a single undifferentiated nation in the end times. It speaks of 12 tribes, with specific roles, specific territories, and a specific destiny in the prophetic sequence. And in 2026, after nearly 2,000 years of dispersion, the Jewish people have returned to the land. The state of Israel exists, and the ancient tribal identities, though blurred by centuries of history, are beginning to matter prophetically again. What does the Bible say about the 12 tribes in the end times? What happened to the 10 lost tribes? Will they be reunited? And what is God's ultimate plan for Israel in the prophetic sequence we have been studying? Subscribe now and turn on the bell. New video every single day. Before understanding the prophetic future of the 12 tribes, you need to understand what happened to them historically, because the story is more complex and more prophetically significant than most people realize. The 12 tribes descend from the 12 sons of Jacob, whom God renamed Israel in Genesis 32. Each son became the patriarch of a tribe that would carry his name through history. After the death of Solomon, the United Kingdom of Israel split in 922 BC. The 10 northern tribes formed the Kingdom of Israel. The 2 southern tribes, Judah and Benjamin, formed the Kingdom of Judah. In 722 BC, the Assyrian Empire conquered the northern Kingdom of Israel and deported its population. These are the 10 lost tribes, scattered across the ancient world. Their distinct tribal identity largely dissolved over centuries of dispersion. The southern Kingdom of Judah survived until 586 BC, when Babylon conquered Jerusalem and deported the population. But unlike the northern tribes, the Jews of Judah maintained their identity through the Babylonian captivity, returned to the land under Cyrus of Persia, and eventually became the Jewish people we know today. The Jewish people of 2026 are primarily descendants of Judah and Benjamin, with some Levites. The other 10 tribes, though their descendants are scattered across many nations, largely lost their distinct tribal identity. And yet, Ezekiel 37 describes a vision of dry bones coming together. A restoration not just of the Jewish people, but of the whole house of Israel, both houses, all 12 tribes. And we arrive at what the biblical prophets specifically predicted about the reunion of the 12 tribes, and how those predictions connect to the end times. Ezekiel 37 is the most detailed prophecy about the tribal reunion. The vision of dry bones, which most people apply to the 1948 restoration of Israel, actually has a second part that most people miss. Ezekiel 37:15-22. God commands Ezekiel to take 2 sticks, one representing Judah, one representing Joseph, representing the 10 northern tribes, and to join them into one stick in his hand. And then God declares, "Behold, I will take the stick of Joseph and join it with the stick of Judah, and I will make them one nation in the land on the mountains of Israel, and one king shall be king over them all." One nation, one king, the reunited 12 tribes under one ruler, which the context clearly identifies as the Messiah reigning in the Millennium. Isaiah 11:11-12, the Lord will extend his hand a second time to recover the remnant of his people who remain. He will raise a signal for the nations and will assemble the banished of Israel and gather the dispersed of Judah from the four corners of the earth. A second time. The first return was from Babylon under Cyrus. The second return, which Isaiah describes as global and complete, is the end times regathering. The one we are watching begin in 2026. Jeremiah 31:31-34. The new covenant God will make with the house of Israel and the house of Judah. Both houses, both branches of the divided kingdom, together. And we arrive at how Israel and the 12 tribes fit into the specific prophetic sequence we have been studying on this channel. In the tribulation. The covenant that begins the tribulation is made with Israel. Daniel 9:27. Israel is the focus of the entire 7-year period. The temple is in Israel. The abomination of desolation happens in Israel. The 144,000, who we studied previously, are 12,000 from each of the 12 tribes of Israel. Israel is not peripheral to the tribulation. Israel is its center, at the midpoint. Matthew 24:15-16. When you see the abomination of desolation standing in the holy place, then let those who are in Judea flee to the mountains. Jesus specifically addresses those in Judea, in Israel. And Revelation 12, which we also studied, describes a woman representing Israel fleeing into the wilderness for 1,260 days. God protects Israel through the second half of the tribulation. At the second coming, Zechariah 12:10, and I will pour out on the house of David and the inhabitants of Jerusalem a spirit of grace and pleas for mercy, so that when they look on me, on whom they have pierced, they shall mourn for him. Israel, collectively, recognizes Jesus as Messiah at the second coming. Romans 11:26. And in this way, all Israel will be saved. In the Millennium, Ezekiel 48 describes the division of the land among the 12 tribes during the Millennium, including Dan, which was absent from the 144,000. Every tribe receives its inheritance. The promise to Abraham is finally and completely fulfilled. And we arrive at the question that connects Israel's prophetic destiny to your present reality. Romans 11, the chapter where Paul lays out God's plan for Israel most comprehensively, ends with one of the most extraordinary doxologies in all of Scripture. Romans 11:33-36, Oh, the depth of the riches both of the wisdom and knowledge of God! How unsearchable are his judgments and unfathomable his ways! For who has known the mind of the Lord, or who became his counselor? For from him and through him and to him are all things. To him be the glory forever. Paul has just spent 3 chapters explaining the mystery of Israel, how the partial hardening of Israel led to the gospel going to the Gentiles, and how the fullness of the Gentiles will lead to the salvation of all Israel. And when he reaches the end of that explanation, he does not land on a theological proposition. He lands on worship. Because the story of Israel is not primarily a geopolitical story, it is a theological story. A story about a God who makes promises and keeps them, who commits to a people and does not abandon them, who works through history, through exile and return, through dispersion and regathering, through rejection and recognition, toward a redemption that is complete. And the same God who has kept every promise to Israel is the same God who keeps his promises to you. Share this video with someone who needs to see this. New video tomorrow. Subscribe and hit the bell. Tell us in the comments, what aspect of God's plan for Israel in the end times surprises you most?